Okay, so Skull and Shackles. Skull and Shackles is my pirate campaign that is based very loosely on the original source material that is Skull and Shackles, the Pathfinder adventure path, a 6-book series that takes people from being shanghaied as pirates to becoming pirate captains to eventually having their own stronghold and their fleet and everything. Um, it's actually kind of basic in that regard. There's no like big, huge save the world scenario. You really are just kind of sailing around and being pirates. In a way, it's really liberating, and it also lends itself really well to being sort of a homebrew situation. So I have the big, beautiful map of the Shackles, which is right here. And they have only explored a very small portion of the Shackles, with all this other area available for them to go and find. This is essentially the biggest sandbox campaign I've ever run in 25 plus years. What's interesting about this huge sandbox campaign is they have a boat, and they have all these tiny islands to go to and all these bigger islands to go to, and there's certain areas that 100% you know it's there, and there's other areas that I get to fill in as the DM, which is pretty cool. Or the players get to fill in with their own backstories and ideas and things like that. So, exploring it even further, there are points of interest that have to do with the main storyline, like Port Peril, for example. But there are places that you might stop along the way to get supplies or try and raise infamy. And in that instance, there is Chozu. Chozu is originally from Pathfinder. It is a Oriental themed setting. And it finally gave me a chance to bust out these 2 books. So both of these are by Mark Altfuldishk. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Mark Altfuldishk. You got Heroes of the Orient and you've got Monsters of the Orient. And these are both fantastic books that you can get off of the DM's Guild. They are unofficial, they're not officially published stuff, but they are amazing. And there's a lot of really great content in here. And this monster manual is a beefy book. Like, I really wish that the author would get with Roll20 and actually do a monster manual for it, because that would be amazing. To have access to all these monsters in my Roll20 games. So I took these 2 as sort of source material to use for Crunch. And then for flavor, I reflavored Chozu to be less magical Orient humans. And I did magical Orient frogs. Yeah, they're adorable. And they have a really cool city. They use insects as their draft animals and mounts and stuff like that. And I kind of came up with this whole lore based around the reincarnation spell that the Kroken, that's these frog people, they start life as Kroken, but if you lived your life well and you had money and resources and connections, when you died, you could be reincarnated as one of these 12 legendary animals, right? The Chinese zodiac here. And so these ended up being like the 12 houses of power that sort of vie for control over the nation of Chozu and Shenshu Bay. So, yeah, my players got here. They saw like the art and this beautiful map from an incredibly talented redditor, and like the adorable frogs, and they heard like the quick lore about the reincarnation and how they have this society of like rival houses that are all fighting with each other for power. And you can see that a lot of them are animal people already. And so a lot of them kind of got mistaken for members of those different houses, right? Like House Monkey and House Tiger, House Dragon, things like that. what a nice, fun change of pace, you know, to be able to dip into a completely different setting and a completely different culture for a little bit while still playing the same characters. Definitely one of the perks of a game where you could travel great distances and kind of move out of that comfort zone of Western European fantasy and kind of dip your toes into these other types of settings. As a kid, one of my favorite campaigns was the Menzo Baranzan box set. My friend ran like a Mission Impossible style game where we worked as like special agents essentially in Menzo Baranzan, and everything about it was alien and new and different, and the culture was different. My favorite campaign setting of all time, Planescape. It's nothing but that. It's just nothing but crazy combinations of cultures and religions and places and people. So Skull and Shackles has kind of given me that great opportunity to keep mixing it up and throwing in all these really unique opportunities to take your characters and put them into these different scenarios and stuff like that. So I hope that the crew sticks around for a little while, because I would love to dig deeper into this mini setting. I call it like a sub setting of Skull and Shackles, and really kind of see what sort of adventures they could get up to. And that's all I got. Subsettings. Taking your main campaign to a different place, a different culture, and really making it special by going way outside of the book. Like, yeah, you're in the magical Orient, so I guess you're gonna fight a Oni. You know what I mean? No. Go the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? There's so many amazing materials available at Drive-Thru RPG and Dungeon Masters Guild. Like, really dig in there and make it feel almost like a completely different game, with the change in monsters, in setting, in cultures, in background music, everything you can to push it into that new flavor and that new theme. So, all right. Hope everybody's enjoying their week, and I'll catch you next time.